This week on Jon Thelen's Destination Fish, we start up on the Red River hunting pre-spawn catfish. This is an awesome fishery with great opportunities to catch trophy fish. Jon Thelen's Destination Fish is brought to you by Lindy Fishing Tackle and Alumacraft Boats. We're on the Red River today, East Grand Forks, Minnesota. This is a pretty cool deal. We're gonna go catfishing. And you know, I did this last fall with Brad. I'm with Brad Durick today, and this is the guy on the river. I said this last fall, and I'm gonna say it again to start this show. Catfish isn't my expertise, but it is Brad's. And we're gonna talk a bunch today about catfish, spring catfishing this year, because it's a little bit different than that fall catfishing we did. Maybe we'll get lucky and pop a couple big ones.
Oh, I'm pretty confident that's gonna happen. Okay, this looks like a smaller fish, so just lean into it and hope he's there. Just like that.
Yeah.
Gee, you've done this before.
I remember a few things from last year. The only difference is we're here in the spring this year. You're right though, smaller fish.
They
There's
bite
no doubt.
different.
Yep.
They kind of pick at their bait and hang themselves, where bigger fish. Since your net's a giant, you want me to gamble on this one and just pull it in?
We can just grab them.
Yep, that's what we're gonna do. Come here. And hi,
There we
fishy. Called that one right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Exactly what he was.
Little chunky, gonna get ready for spawning. Even being this young, I think it's probably gonna try to spawn this year.
Boy, they're strong fish. Even little fish like that.
You know why we always catch little fish when we start? Just because you gotta get ready. That's a good one. There you go. That's good. Why don't you catch that one?
That time he's got it.
That's a better hook.
That's a good fish. Spring catfish, a little bit different than fall. Basically what we're trying to do here is catch fish that are coming up for the spawn. They're not to the spawn yet, but they're on their way. Similar stuff to last year though.
The basics have not changed.
So these fish, they're just coming up and they're staging in kind of the same areas, right, Brad?
Yeah, they're moving up migration-wise. They feed upstream, and then right before they go to the spawn nest, because catfish spawn at 70-something degrees.
Yep.
Then they move back downstream to their nest.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's the
big
one.
one.
I'll get this here.
Okay, hang on here. Big fish.
Oh, fish.
He won a little bit there. He took a little line on me.
He won a lot.
There we go. Big cat. Get that bail popped.
That's what you drove here for, is this one.
Look at that.
That's
It's just awesome. That's a sore shoulder, a sore forearm, and man, I'll tell you, just flat out, a ton of fun. That right there, you get a fish like that in this current, doing what that fish just did, fighting you the other direction the whole way. Brad, hand me those gloves over there, would you? I'm gonna pull these on. I'm gonna show you this fish. These are Lindy fish handling gloves. Great, great, great item for handling a big fish like this. Being able to grab them and...
Before you pick that up, if you'd shove that in the rod holder, that'd be awesome.
Yes, sir. This right here is cool stuff. That is a big Red River cat. Look at that fish. That is
So here's a little
awesome.
trivia for you. Yep. See all these little fleas in here?
Yep.
This big girl's been sitting pretty tight for a while. She hasn't been feeding actively, so she's out feeding actively.
Right now, but she was laying
and
for a
she'll
while.
rub all these off probably in the next day or so.
Look at that.
And you won't even know that they were there. That's
cool
a good sign.
All right. Man, that is cool stuff.
Jon Thelen's Destination Fish is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
All right, one down. You got bottom or
I got a fish.
Is that a fish?
That's a fish.
I never even saw anything happen with that. He swam back at us, didn't he?
I don't know. It was just there.
The alarm just went off. It was time to go.
That's weird. And didn't see a nibble, nothing.
Just picked it up and swam at us, didn't he?
All right.
Looks like he might be decent, huh?
Yeah, feels okay. I'm gonna say not a monster. Nope.
Oh, it's not a bad
Nice.
fish.
Kind of come over here.
Come here, buddy.
He's gonna dive one more time. And I'll just bring him right to you.
I got him.
There you go.
Look at that. Good fish, buddy. Look at that. Boy, he's another pretty one. That fish just picked it up and came straight at us.
Had no idea it was there. None.
That's an awesome fish. How old is that fish?
I don't know. From what everything I read, probably 10 to 12, 13, somewhere in there.
So when we're getting these big ones,
We're looking 20, maybe even 30.
okay.
Because
so
they're slow growing, because they're a warm water fish living in a cold water environment.
Right. That's a beautiful mid-range fish right there, man.
This will be a nice trophy in about 5-6 years.
It's one of the coolest things I can tell you about fishing here.
Here,
Fishing these catfish on this Red River and doing it with Brad, or even if you come out and do it yourself, is holy smokes, the action. I mean, we have sat and caught catfish after catfish. We could make 3 shows out of this. It's just something else, this fishery.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do a little different on this one. I want you to, when you pick it up, try to let him not feel it.
Okay.
And then start reeling down just a little, and then just lean into him like you have been on every other fish, because he's moving ahead. He's moving down and ahead, and you're gonna have to catch up to him.
Okay.
But this has the makings of a big fish. You see how it's got the wide bend and then and then just lean into him. There you go.
There he is. Good fish too. Yep.
Look how far left he got on us.
Yeah. He's headed for the middle of the river.
He's gonna wanna stay over there, so we're gonna bring you over here. That'll make your fish fighting much simpler.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he's a giant, but I'll tell you what, I don't think he's bad. Boy, they're biting fast right now.
The fact that that fish swam down the hill and didn't bend the rod
Oh, here, now he's
tells me it could be better.
Yeah.
Come on, fishy.
Okay, I'm gonna try to give you a little more space
Yeah.
to work with here. Here we go.
Yeah, that's a good
He's a
one.
good one. Yep.
That's a good one.
Look at that one. Wow. So one of the things to notice right now, let me just get this bail popped. I was just over my head to get it. That's a giant right there. One of the things to notice is whether you see it or not. Why don't you go ahead and unhook them?
Okay, I'll unhook.
Okay, because you're faster at that. One of the things I'll tell you for sure that I'm seeing as we do this and I'm watching Brad work this is hole to hole to hole, but like he said, picking that soft side of the current like we just did, but each stop we make downriver, we're catching fish. Let me show everybody this fish, bud. Give everybody a quick idea of what we're using, because this is all stuff you can buy at your local sporting goods shop. You can go to an L&M, pick this stuff up. Everything you need is easy here. This is an easy deal.
Basically, all we're using today is a bait caster, a 7-foot medium rod with a good flexible tip with backbone, 5-ounce lead sinker. Very important when you're using this weight, a piece of tubing, a bead, anything to protect your knot. A number 1 snap swivel, about 12 inches of line to a circle hook. That's it. That's all we're using today.
That's it. Some suckers for bait. Brad's cutting them up over here. He's got a little cutting station going, and we're just chucking it out and leaving it on the bottom on the edges of these holes, and you're seeing what's happening. I mean, it's consistent. And you know, the other thing, and I said this last year and I'm gonna say it again this year, I wanna talk about an untouched fishery. We're sitting out here all by ourselves. It's the end of May. It's a beautiful day. And we're all by ourselves just sitting here catching these fish. This is an untapped fishery, especially in this stretch of the Red River.
Right.
I mean, you just don't see a lot of people.
No, a busy day is 10 to 12 boats.
Jon Thelen's Destination Fish has been brought to you by these great sponsors.